There were emotional scenes at the Honiara International Airport on Thursday as New Zealand Solomon Islands athlete Jordan Evans-tobata was reunited with her father, Tobata, who she had not seen in 9 years, and met her aunties and cousins who she had never met in real life. Koroi Hawkins was there.
How does it feel to be home?
Good. It's hot. Hot here.
The 19-year-old Otago University student will be making her international debut for New Zealand in the 400 metres, 800 metres, 4 times 100 metres and 4 times 400 metres relay events. I also spoke with our editor/reporter on the ground, Koroi Hawkins, about how the first week of the Games has gone and what we have to look forward to in the week ahead.
Thank you, Sana. Yeah, I think the heat is the main thing this week. It's just been beautiful weather for the Games. A bit hot for me. This is home, but I think I've been in Wellington too long. It's been really hot. And talking to the athletes, the heat is a real factor. In all the change rooms where there's aircon, I've seen going into interview captains and teams and that everyone should just strip down on ice and cooling off out of the heat. There's real camaraderie among the athletes, a real sort of respect for each other, and apart from obviously the incident with Fiji and Samoan athletes at the league, everyone else has seemed to be really, really friendly. I was at the weightlifting the other day, and I saw the other teams actually cheering on competitors from other teams. So obviously in the villages and in the dining halls and that they've made friendships and connections. And obviously some of these people obviously train together and compete against each other at club and other levels. So yeah, really positive vibe among the athletes. There have been some power cuts throughout the week. There's a few venues that were affected by major power outages throughout the week and had to stop. I was at the basketball and the power cut out and everyone just had their phone lights on for a bit, which was kind of like a outdoor concert, like an impromptu concert. But that's been a bit of a disruption, and I think that's been the biggest one that's happened so far.
How has the medal race been going? Any surprises?
At the top of the table, New Caledonia, obviously largest contingent here, most athletes, and is the defending champion. So they're sitting on 32 gold at the moment. Australia, small contingent, but 23 gold among them. So really strong competitors amongst their contingent. I think a few of them are already qualifying for Paris too. And I believe it's archery, but I'll have to check on that. Samoa has had a big surge. They've got 18 gold, sitting on third. 5 silver and 3 bronze. I got a beautiful shot of Olivia Borg getting their 100-meter butterfly sprint first gold. So hoping to talk to her as well and talk a bit about her journey. So Tahiti sitting at 4th. They have 8 gold. Have quite a large contingent, so that's probably a bit of a slow start for them. And the host nation, Solomon Islands, just rounding out that top 5 with 8 gold as well. They already at this point have earned double the gold that they had in Samoa in 2019. So I think they'd be pretty happy with themselves, the hosts.
Who would you say are the underdogs in the Games?
I think the smaller countries with smaller athletes, there's probably the underdogs. Like there's one athlete that I'm trying to track down, a swimmer for American Samoa, who's got their only 2 medals, and I think they're silvers, but he's the only one that's medaled in that whole contingent so far. So I'm keen to track him down and have a chat with him about his journey and basically carrying the territory, his team, with the medal count for him as well. So yeah, there's a massive difference in some of the federations. Like I was at the archery the other day, and the technical director was pointing out that for the French Pacific teams, most of them made the funds and will get most of the golds, and those have massive federations, which are basically mainland France federations, whereas some of these Pacific countries have federations that are quite small and don't have the training or the facilities or the equipment even in when it comes to equipment-related sport to be able to excel.
All right, just moving slightly away from the Games, what is the mood like on the ground? Are locals attending the events? I mean, what have they been saying?
Yeah, at the venues I've been to, there's been great crowd engagement. There's I think one of the great things is a lot of the vehicles in town have adopted countries, and there's different flags flying from the local public transport. So it's really great to see the flags not just being put up by the organizers, but also being adopted by different people. There seems to be a lot of locals that have made friends with athletes, either going out in the markets or probably seeing them out and about. And so I'm seeing some athletes sort of engaging and talking with crowd members that they've obviously come across or bought something from or been helped in some way. So there's a bit of that going on. In terms of venue attendance, the big stadium's probably been the least populated. There's a few of the rugby games and different games that go on there are well attended, but one of the things that people noted was one side of the stadium has access to food courts and the other side is fully disconnected. So it seems that everyone's just flooding one side, which is close to all the food and all of that. So that's quite interesting. But there's a bit of discussion about the pricing of tickets being too expensive for locals. So there's a lot of crowds that have gathered outside stadiums to try and get a glimpse into stadiums. But the football matches have been packed. All of the football matches seem to be well attended, huge crowds there.
Before I let you go, Koroi, what do we have to look forward to over the weekend and heading into next week?
Yeah, so we started to see all of the athletics teams arriving now. So we've got athletics starting next week. We've got boxing. We've got sevens just kicked off, so a lot of excitement there. A few sports already finishing up their final gold medals for those sports, and what we're seeing is those teams that have finished are leaving and are being swapped out with competitors from sports that are yet to come next week. So a whole heap of stuff coming up next week. So much sport, and hopefully, touch wood, the weather stays great.